Welcome to Gulfstream today. It's Ron Nicoletti, my sidekick today. Katie Stazak, each and every day, I should say. We have a fast main track, a good turf course to start today. Beautifully sunny conditions here at Gulfstream Park. We have an 11-race card on tap, and we get that carryover starting to head up. It's almost a little over $41,000, so it'll be up there. They'll bet it'll be close to $100,000 today. It can be had if you have that one unique ticket for 20 cents. They nailed the Super High Five yesterday, and as Katie and I predicted, it would be a nice payoff, and it was like $20,000. So that Super High Five pays a lot. So we're starting that one anew today. So we got that one carryover to talk about. As I mentioned, fast main track, good turf course this afternoon. Before we get to our races, let's see what's out there in Twitterland.
Lots going on, and this one is pretty cool. Want to start the day taking a little bit of a side trip from the racetrack. Ichabod Crane. Now, he did have quite a career on the racetrack with trainer Graham Motion, third in the Preakness. He competed in his first one star, which is once eventing gets into stars, it's the highest level of competition. 4 stars the biggest, but this is a 1 star, first starting out. He is actually taking the lead into this event in 3-day eventing with Olympian Philip Dutton, and obviously excelling in his new career. I love this.
Yeah, and the horse won over, I looked it up, won over $500,000 on the racetrack for Graham Motion. So these horses, they're fantastic, and they're versatile too, besides that fantastic racing career. Second we want to look at is a horse that we know very well from here, Frosted. Boy, what a nice performance for Frosted yesterday in the Pennsylvania Derby. Just looks like he's coming into his own.
I was a little concerned coming off that big effort in the Travers where he pressed the pace on American Pharaoh, seemed to tire. No ill effects from that effort yesterday. Wow, was he impressive. Just really kicked clear in the stretch. Good for him and good for Team McLaughlin.
And the third tweet we want to talk about today is, you'll see it popping up here, is a horse that won the last race, I believe, yesterday, and it's Barbarenda, right?
Yeah, what a nice debut from her. A half to Grade 1 winner, Rockfall. That's a really talented sprinter. She won her debut here in the last race yesterday for Ralph Nix. He does okay with those
yeah, I think it was Ralph Nix. If it's a 2-year-old, we have to almost think it's Ralph Nix, and owned in part by Mike Dubbs, so one of the owners around the country that spends winter time here with some of his horses. So great win for that, for those connections.
Yeah, and by Sydney's Candy, she's actually just the 3rd winner for Sydney's Candy, a young sire. Just the 3rd winner. He had 2 winners yesterday, so a great day for Sydney's Candy.
Jump on that bandwagon of Sydney's Candy, and that is what we see around the country. Just to add to it, let's get to the Sunday card. Our first race is on the turf, as we mentioned. It's listed as good. It's a 1-mile event. Claim is fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. But before we do that, I forgot about this. We wanted to go back and show you yesterday's stake race, because this was a really nice performance by Do the Roar, who came out roaring in the stretch.
Absolutely, and what was so great about this win was that Do the Roar actually crossed the wire first in his last race, the Bonita Stakes, and was disqualified. He proved that was no fluke yesterday with a very nice effort in the Treasure Coast, and he gave trainer Antonio Ciaffi his first ever stakes win. He was so excited afterwards. I went to chat with him, and he said, "I'm sorry, I have no words. I'm just so excited." So congratulations to his team. That was a really nice race.
Yeah, and that's always fun when that happens. They're so excited, and congratulations. And another thing for you handicapping people out there, 3 races, turf races prior to that race were all won by horses on the lead. The 9 horse had the lead in that race, and this horse game enough to close and get the job done, and paid a pretty square price. So congratulations to those connections. Now we'll get to the first race. It's a 1-mile turf event. Claimers, fillies and mares, 3 and up, non-winners of a race on the turf since March 20th, which is 6 months, and scratch the main track only participant in here, and that is Princess Malia. I went with the 2 horses near Bella Promisa. You started with the horse I have in second, and that is Chloe Carroll.
Well, she only has to improve by a head today, theoretically, to get in the winner's circle. This is a 9-year-old mare, led up until the final jump at this level and distance last time out. Looks to be the lone speed here, and Speed was playing very well on the turf yesterday, so that's why I put her on top. But the 2, your top selection, Bella Promesa, she's certainly bred for this and has competed against a lot tougher.
Yeah, I mean, I think the conditions of race suit her perfectly in here. As we mentioned, non-winners of a turf race in 6 months. She finished finished fifth. She was beaten about a length and 3/4. That was against $30,000 claimers here on June, I think it was June 26th. The trainer is Reed Nagel, and he's got 21% with this type of layoff. I just thought the conditions of this race, this horse has been facing better on the grass, so I put it on top, but I would not leave the one horse off my ticket too. Who else did you use on your in your selections?
I used the 8, Gigi's a Miracle, finished just behind Chloe Carroll in each of her last 2 starts for trainer Antonio Sano. Has the opposite run style of that mare, and that she's going to be coming from off the pace. But you can't count out the connections, and I thought since I like Chloe Carroll, I should like her as well. But you also used the 9, Almost an Angel.
Yeah, and getting back to the 8 horse, and he had 20-1 on the morning line. I used the number 8, Almost an Angel, who's returning to the turf after responding to a drop in competition. Ran second. It was against similar, albeit it was going 6.5 furlongs on the main track. But if you look at this horse's past performances, this is the easiest spot in her 24-race turf campaign, being a non-winners of a turf race in 6 months. She's had 24 races on the turf, 3 wins and 7 seconds, so I think she classes up nicely in here. And she is, I think, 6-1 on the morning line, 8-1 on the morning line. So besides the top 2 horses that we think might run well in there, that you can make some money in your exact and trifectas.
Absolutely. Some great opportunities in this race.
Well, we mentioned that the main track is fast this afternoon, and that's where the second race will play out on. 6 furlongs, claimers, fillies and mares, 3 and up, non-winners of 3 races in life, or straight 3-year-olds. Scratch the number 4 horse in here, Rachel's Girl. And Katie, you went with the number 6 horse in here, and that is Corinthians Glory, who's the morning line favorite.
I think trainer Ruben Munges has just done an excellent job with this mare. She's seeking back-to-back wins today. Munges brings her back about every 6 weeks or so, and she has consistently performed well fresh. She went wire to wire at the $12,500 level on September 3rd. Drops her to this $6,250 level as she steps up in condition level, and I think it's an excellent spot for her.
I went with the 3, Venom Girl, on top of my ticket. Katie has in second in here, and this one is stepping up to the next level after drawing away. She defeated a pretty nice next-out winner called Rayona Daytona. That was a 6,252 lifetime claimer at the distance. Victor Barboza has got 7-pound apprentice John Cruz in the saddle, and I think the horse was flattered last time out with the horse Rayona Daytona coming back to run so well in there. We both used the number 8 in here, and that's Dichosa.
Dichosa, we'll play around with it. She was a 4 3/4 length winner. Another looking to get a win streak jump started here today. That was in the slop for trainer Rohan Cretan. In good form, should be on the ticket somewhere.
Yeah, and I just threw in the 5. I'm Gem in third, and trying to beat the morning line favorite. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but you see her selections up there. Maybe you got to add that 6. I might have missed that one. The third race this afternoon, 5 furlongs on the turf. Maiden claimers 3 and up, $12,500. Scratch the 6, light 'em up, bud. And it's no secret that Super Secret likes to finish second. It's a gelded son of Yes by Jiminy. But I think this one is the spot where he can finally cure that case of second-itis. If you go back and look at this horse's last race, I thought it was a really good performance. He ducked through on the inside, and of course, he finished second. I don't know if you have it on tip, you do, but I'm going with this very easily on this horse because it seems like that case of second-itis is pretty rampant.
I agree, but I think today is the day he gets back in the winner's circle. He's the most accomplished turf sprinter in this field by far. I don't need any convincing run. We have our trifecta here identical.
Yeah, the Ramadel will depart from the rail duel between horses, finished third behind who? Super Secret last time out, Katie. And what about Rapid Lightning? You go back and look at this, 3 races in a row, finished third behind who?
Super Secret and Radamel. He knows these two very, very well. These are some 3 nice rivals, so we'll see if any of them can turn the tables on each other.
We'll see if it's Super Secret's day. It's certainly not going to be a secret. It's going to be odds-on to do it in there this afternoon. 4th race is 6 furlongs maiden claimers. They're 2-year-olds, $12,500. A clean slate, no scratches or jockey changes to report. I went with the 5, and so did Katie. That's Up with the Sun, now in the Marcus Vitale barn. This is a $60,000 son of Looking at Lucky. Drops to the $12,500 level. You look at its last race, duel between horses, finished third, was the favorite that day behind a repeat winner called Royal Almighty. That was a $30,000 maiden race going 5.5 furlongs. It was upstate, up in New Jersey at Monmouth Park. My question to you is, I know you have it on top, why the drop?
Well, responded to a drop last time, so maybe he'll respond and take that extra step with another drop. Working well, sharp 3/8 and 37 and 1 up at Palm Meadows on the 12th, so I think he's doing all right. We'll see how it plays out. The 3, though, Elusive Starship, has the edge in that he does have a start over this racetrack, which Up with the Sun has not even been able to work here, being up at Palm Meadows.
Right.
So he finished a solid third against $16,000 maiden claimers on the 4th. Made a bid around the far turn, took the lead at the top of the stretch before tiring. Should be fitter in his second start. I think these two are the top 2.
Yeah, and the horse I put in third is actually 20-1 on the morning line, and that is the 6, Dream of D. Wild, is dropping, stretching out. I thought this horse finished a work like fourth against $16,000 maidens, going 5.5 furlongs. The trainer is Dave Rakoff. Leroy Nelson hasn't been riding here in a while, is back and named on this horse this afternoon. 20-1, I think that, like you said, the top 2 are the right 2 in here, and I know that I used the 6 as a bit of a long shot in there. You went with the 2-horse Grand Trophy. Who's a logical horse to be third behind those 2?
Yeah, he is, though I don't know if I love him at 3-1. I might be more inclined to your 20-1.
Yeah. Let's go to race number 5, and this is the penultimate race before the Rainbow 6. 5 furlongs on the turf, maiden special weight fillies, 2-year-olds. Scratched the 9, Masio. Also scratched the main track only, number 11, Golden Milia. And I scratched into the number 6, Washington Song. Was that your case, or did you have it on top?
I had Washington Song on top throughout from the Ralph Nix barn.
Right.
Again, had another winner yesterday, a nice one. This is an unbridled song filly. The first daughter of Grade 2 winner Washington Bridge was a $350,000 purchase at last year's Keeneland September sale going on right now. The dam never won in 4 tries on turf. That's a little bit of a concern, but Unbridled Song is an excellent turf sire. Working well here and can't go against the connections.
Yeah, I looked up Unbridled Song just to see, and he's 17% with his debut turf winner, so not a bad, statistic there. So expecting this horse to run well. You mentioned Ralph Nix just having a fantastic meeting. The horse that I have in second is Bella Nusta, and this is a daughter of Artie Schiller, and I looked up Artie Schiller, That sire produces debut turf winners about 16% of the time. Debuting today for Enrique Sanchez. Couple of sharp recent local workouts, including a 5-furlong bullet on September 1st. That was a 3-furlong bullet in 35 flat. Luca Panici rides. I just thought this was a nicely bred freshman. I love Artie Schiller's on the grass, so I threw that one in on my ticket. Number 4, I don't know what line he's on. 10-1 on the morning line.
That's an excellent value, and I think that's one to watch even further along the line as these races get longer. Artie Schiller, excellent with his mileage.
Yeah, and I did have Musio as my top pick in there, who scratched out. I had your horse, Washington Song, in there. And Dagny's Revenge, on paper, certainly looks like it's meant to run well in the spot.
Absolutely. Has the experience edge over much of this group and really improved by leaps and bounds when trying turf for the first time in August. Showed speed, was caught to finish second. That was off a 3-month layoff. Should build off of that.
Yeah, and you also used the number 5 in here, Little Alexandra, a horse I did not put on my ticket, but I can understand why you did.
A daughter of Discreet Cat, working well up at Palm Meadows for Carla Vacarezza. Has that edge of being able to work over the turf course there.
Yeah, that always helps. Up there at Palm Meadows, our training facility, talking about a beautiful place, and that turf course, you can work on the turf much more than you only once a week down here, and you got to be in Stakes Company to work down here. But if you're stabled up in Palm Meadows, like I say, a beautiful place to train. You can work on the turf. I'm doing a little commercial for Palm Meadows.
Palm Meadows, literally 2 minutes from my house. Sometimes I can see it from my house, and it is just heaven on earth.
Right. Let's go to race number 6. We mentioned this is where the Rainbow 6 is going to kick off this afternoon. Mile and the 16th. Claim is 3-year-olds and up. $6,250. 9 runners in the field. No scratches. No jockey changes. Both Katie and I have the number 1 Thunder Run on top of our ticket.
I think distance is key here. He just ran out of real estate last time. He rallied while 6 wide to get up for second, going 7/8, and he only lost to the very speedy and gutsy veteran Quiz Whiz. Prior to that, he was a winner at the mile. Distance, the only concern with me here is Where's the speed in this race?
Yeah, there's not much speed in the race, and also, but I think the stretch out and that inside post, it'll serve him well in there. But I'm not sold where I would single this horse here. But ridden today by Tyler Gaffalione, another 3 wins yesterday. He's just been having a fantastic summer. He's our leading rider, and we were just talking before we came on the air. 7 more racing days here at beautiful Gulfstream Park before we head over to Gulfstream Park West. So it looks like he's got the riding title sewed up, I would think, right?
We'll see. Anything can happen, but he's certainly looking strong as he did for the previous meet title that he won here.
Well, you have number 6, Sir Sparky, in second.
You used him as well. He's going to actually debut for the Ralph Zadie barn, but for the second time. He's returning to the barn. He made 5 consecutive starts at this distance. He's hit the board in 3 of them, won 1. Certainly the most experienced horse going a mile in his 16th. 32 starts, 4 wins, 4 seconds, and 7 thirds. Luca Panici going to ride him today.
Well, I threw in Phineas beat in the neck by Thunder Run when they competed going a mile in the slot back on July 26th. Going back to the main track. Didn't show much on the turf. I was just looking to get a little, find something that ran with Thunder Run in there. But you're right, it's a paceless race. So we'll see how things work out in race number 6. Let's go right to race number 7. We'll go back on the turf. 1 mile claimers, fillies and mares, 3 and up. Non-winners of 3 in life or 3-year-olds. And we have 1 scratch in here of number 7, G.P. Ricky, and we want to go back and show you the performance of the horse Katie has on top of her ticket, and that is number 2, L.A. Style. Had a little traffic problem, let's say, at the top of the stretch.
She had a problem, but she made a solution. We're going to take a look at this race back from August 27th. This is at the $30,000 level. See L.A. Style there in the pink and white striped cap. Had nowhere to go. Completely breaks through. There's an opening and a really nice burst of acceleration to get up in this race. Going to end up scoring by a head in what track announcer Pete Aiello called a pretty close finish that day, which it was. Cutting her tag almost in half today when facing the next condition level. I just saw her as the horse to beat, but I got to say, the horse you put on top, Rose Graciela, is becoming a favorite of mine to watch because of her closing kick.
Yeah, I like her today. The only 3-time turf winner in the field. She's had 13 races on the turf, 3 wins, 3 seconds, 2 thirds. Was game in defeat last time out when she made that 5-wide bid on a wet turf course. Was listed as good. What is this one listed today? Good. Come within a half length of winning her 4th turf race at this 1 mile distance. So she likes this course. She likes the mile distance. Yesterday, as we mentioned at the top of the show, the speed was real good on the turf, but I think if things get dicey on the front end, a horse like Rose Graciela, who loves this course, loves the distance, can get up there. I'm glad you used her on the ticket. We're basically in agreement here. You also used the number 5, and I did too, and that's Pinsy's Prize.
Well, she's on a 2-race win streak, that's for certain. She's making her first start off the claim for trainer Mike Petro today, owns the highest last out buyer of the field, but facing some stiffer competition today. Yeah,
and Edgar Zayas will be in the saddle this afternoon. We're going back to the main track for race number 8, and this one is 5.5 furlongs, maiden special weight, 2-year-olds. 14 runners in the field with no scratches. This is not going to make the Rainbow Six any easier for anybody, but that's why it's so much fun, and it pays those great payouts in here. And Katie, you went with the number 3, Final Encore. Let me see in my crystal ball. Maybe trained by Ralph Nix?
I've got a Ralph Nix exacta here. I think this is going to be a really big day for Nix with his 2-year-olds. Certainly wouldn't be a surprise the way they've been running. But he's got 2 in here, and I put this one on top because top call rider Tyler Gaffalione elects to ride this one. This is the son of Red Hot sires Scat Daddy and an unbridled song mare. Series of 4 strong works here at Gulfstream.
I went with the 2. Kokomo Wildcat is the son of Wildcat Air, debuting for trainer Larry Pilati. 4 good local workout show. It includes a 5-furlong bullet gate work back on August 26th in just over a minute. The barn is good with their freshman runners, 21%. Lasix, Eddie Castro. Just thought this would be a horse to go with. I don't know what he is on the morning line. I think he's 3rd choice or something like that. So I was
8-1.
8-1. Wow.
Nice value.
Nice guy. So I think now, Final Encore you mentioned. Now what about the other Ralph Nix?
Another with a nice pedigree by Giants Causeway out of a Lemon Drop Kid mare. It is the 2nd full of that multiple stakes winning mare, but the first to make it to the races, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, the best horse in the race, I think, so far, and that's not saying anything because there's a lot of first-time starters in here, is the 14 Drama Club. Best of all the previous starters, breaks from that ultra-demanding outside post after dueling for the lead and tiring late as the big favorite in its 6-furlong debut. It's a son of Big Drama, the sire. Big Drama has been producing some pretty nice winners in here. Would be on the top of my ticket, this horse, if it wasn't for that post.
And that's why it's not on my ticket, especially one that's going to want to show speed from the get-go, going to have to work out the trip.
Well, let's go right to race number 9, 5 furlongs in the turf, an allowance optional claimer. These are 2-year-olds, $75,000 the claiming level. Jockey on the 8 is Jonathan Gonzalez. Scratch the 9, scratch the 10. Let's go back and look at number, let's see, with 3 that day, more royalties, the 6 today.
Another Ralph Nix 2-year-old. This is what I hinted about a big day. I was really impressed when she won this race. This was her turf debut. She is going to face the boys today. Ralph Nix pulling a Wesley Ward. Actually, I believe defeating a Wesley Ward horse here in this particular race. I think she's good enough, and also, being a filly, gets a break in the weights.
Yeah, gets a break in the weight. I agree with you there, too. I don't put much stock in the 2-year-olds. A little bit when they're running as 2-year-olds, once the horse proves that it can run that well. Number 1, Imperial Warrior, we both have in second. Rally from off the pace to break his maiden at the distance. Should see almost the same early fractions today that afforded him the victory last time out. Antonio Sano, what a great meet he's having. MSCL Jaramillo in the saddle, going for 2 in a row. And we closed it out with the 5. It's Robin.
Another Sano starter, but going to be caught up. There's a lot of pace in this race. I think if anyone capitalizes, it's Imperial Warrior.
I think so, too. Let's go to race number 10 today. 7 furlongs, claimers, fillies advanced 3 and up, non-winners of 2 in life, $12,500. Scratch the 2. Good action in here. Really like the one in here. It's the horse that I singled on my Rainbow Six ticket. I had to take a shot because I thought the other races were very competitive. Mystic Blue going to face a $12,500  2 lifetime claimers. Responded in the first start after the claim by Mike Petro and the addition of blinkers last time out with a 6.5 length victory against $25,000 maidens. I think this is the perfect spot for this horse.
Perfectly spotted to face winners for the first time, and Michael Petro, he's 25% with recent maiden winners in claiming races.
We both have the 3 Moonlights also in second, stretching out to 7/8. Racing without the blinkers today, returned from the layoff and switched from turf to dirt with a second place finish. So pretty nice. Who'd you use in third?
I used the 8 Senora de Fatima, finally back at a good spot. Didn't like the slop last time and was in the turf before.
Well, let's go to our 11th and final race today. 5.5 furlongs maiden claimers. We're going to have 10 runners in the field, no scratches. This is where the Super High 5 starts anew. And I went with the 2, and so did Katie, and that is Sats Talk.
Can you believe this one's also from the Ralph Nix barn?
Oh, my goodness.
Cutting the tag in half, getting blinkers added after finishing 5th as the favorite on the 14th. But he was very anxious that day, fractious at the gate. I think that led to the poor performance, especially in this heat. When the horses get worked up, it's so easy for them to get even more hot. So I think that blinkers add is going to help.
Well, I went with the 10 Modest Mike in second, making his local debut. As you notice over the last couple of days, Marcus Vitale had a good winter with us last year, is back here in South Florida. First starts in chasing the pace and finishing third in the slop. $25,000 maidens at Delaware Park. As you mentioned up there, ready for the handle the steamy South Florida weather with a 3 furlong bullet up at Palmetto. So I threw him on the ticket. How do you close out the day?
Well, we both used mass approval, and I think you want to watch this one because the runner-up from his last race came back to break his maiden by more than 15 lengths.
Well, it's going to be an exciting day of racing today. You got our selections, and we'll see how we do, and I hope you do as well as we're expecting to do.
Yes, hopefully. So have a good day and enjoy.